Hiya, hiya, it's the Reynolds Wrap. I'm broadcasting live from the home of the relatively unimportant, and I'm wearing my story shirt because I have a story. Everybody has a story. You know, there were 9 million of them in the naked city. Our story right now is how there are only allowed 10 people or less by the pandemic rules for Thanksgiving. So we're going to have a smaller gathering than usual, which means less arguments. Hey, who's going to get the wing? Who's going to get the leg? You know, it's all gets settled if you order the breast. Some people make a habit of ordering breast, and also they order small turkeys, which we don't are out of. They're out of small turkeys now. That little owl that was in the tree in the Bronx, that would be a meal. You know, we have different kinds of tastes, and that's why I do a different video for YouTube. I have my YouTube's tied, and they're tied with Facebook. I can get away with a lot more, it seems, on one or the other. I'm not going to tell you which one. And then there are people who watch me and they switch back and forth. You know, they go between YouTube and Facebook. That's why I have 8 or 9 people who watch me every day. I got a huge audience. You know, you can't go by the number of clicks because I'm an outreach program. I send my stuff out, which doesn't give you credit, just so you know that. You know, I mean, when you look at the bottom, say, only 3 people watch this thing? That's because I send it all out. See, I'm not waiting for you to come to me. I'm not that foolish. So my story is one about the Christians this year. We had church, and I took my mask off yesterday, probably because I had garlic for dinner the night before, and I wanted a breather. And a woman in the church said, "Put that back on. You're not attractive." And whoa, that's very Christian, isn't it? I'm looking for a mask with Botox. I don't know. They probably have that. You know? The designer masks. The church, yeah, Billy Graham was one of the founders of the Calvary Chapel, where we're feeding over 1,000 people by giving them meals, not having them over. You don't want to have 1,000 people over if you have a pandemic. But we're going to have a problem at Easter time if we don't get that vaccine, because at Easter time we have the Last Supper. On Thursday of that week is the Last Supper before the Easter Sunday, and you know, you're not allowed to have more than 10 people. So I don't know what they're going to do. Let's just do like Monty Python. If you had the Last Supper without Judas, hey, where's Judas? Oh, he can't. He's number 11. We couldn't put him in here. And where's Peter? No, Peter was 12. There's no room for Peter or we can't have Judas. I mean, Judas is just nothing but you know, he's a sellout anyway. And wait a minute. If you don't have Judas and you don't have Peter, and Peter is a wishy-washy like the American voters, what are you going to do? You have no drama. There's no play. This will never make it on CNN or Fox. I mean, you got to have a little drama. You got to have Judas with his bag of silver and Peter in denial. That's what you need to have with this Last Supper. This is going to be a dull supper. And I mean, you know, it's bad enough that we're just going to have bread and wine, which isn't a bad idea, actually. If you're alcoholic, you probably favor that. And you know, there's something that to be said about this great religious experience that we have. And I think that we are going to have more than 10 people at the Last Supper. Otherwise,